Anna. Welcome back to my channel, Mostly Paper Crafts. In today's video, I'm going to share with you the July Scrapbook and Cards Today sampler and a bunch of stuff that I made with it. Here are the contents of the July SCT sampler. So we always get a card with a cute quote on it. This one's from Cinderella. And then on the back, it tells us about all of the different supplies that are included. So this time, most of the stuff is from Pink Fresh Studio. And then we also have a stamp set from the Stamp Market. And, oh, it looks like a couple of papers are from the Stamp Market as well. And a little storage envelope, and then our word of the month, which is wish, which fits right onto there. Okay, so we'll start with the stamp set. This is from the Stamp Market. Has some very useful sentiments here and a build a flower. What I like about stamps like this is you can stamp each part in a different color, and then once the whole thing is assembled, I mean, we don't have to color it. It's already colored because of the inks that we use. Lots of little pieces this month. These are stickers, and they're puffy stickers. These are puffy stickers too. These are really cute. A couple of little chipboard pieces. A couple of little die cut flowers. We've got some dots here. I like the yellow glitter in those. Small card. I like this pocket, and there are a couple of blank envelopes. A couple of blank tags. Oh, there's 3. I thought there was only 2. 3 tags there. And then we've got a bunch of papers. So let's take a look at the beautiful papers here. And I'm not sure which ones are from Pink Fresh and which ones are from the Stamp Market. They all seem to go really well together, which is not always the case with the sampler. Sometimes we'll get papers from 2 different collections, and they're both beautiful on their own, but they don't often overlap much. But these ones, looks like everything that we got this month would go well together. Very similar color palettes. I like these daisies with the different colors. This one's really thick. Oh, it's 2. Oh, that's why. Okay. Oh, hey, hi, hello there. That's super cute. Awesome. So that's all the papers that were included in this month's sampler. Lots of different designs here, and like I said, they go pretty well together, so we could do a lot of mixing and matching. And I think I'm going to be able to make some really great projects. I'm feeling inspired by this little pocket and the tags to perhaps create some more pockets with tags for my cards. That's something that I don't do very often in my card making, but this is so cute. Maybe I'll make some of my own. I was able to use almost everything that came in the sampler. The first project that I'm going to show you is an incomplete gift. This could be given to someone once it's filled in with some journaling, maybe some photos. There's a lot of places to put little elements in these tags. This pocket was included with my sampler, but it inspired me to create a couple more. So they're slightly different size, but I was able to use the 6x6 paper that came in the kit to create those. And then I customized the tags to make them cute. I put some of the elements from the kit. This is cut from one of the papers. This is cut from one of the papers. This was an element that was included. And then it folds into a nice little accordion here. I am planning to put this puffy sticker on the front, but not until I have a photo for whoever I'm going to give this to. So very easy to customize something like this. I did create it using some washi tape. I know a lot of people tell me that they have washi tape and they're not really sure what to do with it, so I feel like this is a really good use. I use it often to make a hinge, and I just have the same washi tape on the front and the back. The way that I do this is I just take my washi tape over one piece of paper, and then I line up the next one right next to it, and I leave a tiny gap so that it will create a hinge that can move easily. If you don't create a little gap in there, it's a little bit harder for your pages to open and close. So that is my first project. This will be customized and given as a gift. Next, I'm going to show you 4 tiny cards. These are little thank you cards, custom size. I did use the thank you very much stamp from the Stamp Market stamp set. We've got a couple that are longer and then a couple of little square ones. But I think it's good to keep in mind that when you are giving thank you cards or just cards in general, they don't always have to be huge. They don't even always have to be A2 size. So I wanted to create some small cards just to showcase some of the different papers and just some of the tiny little elements from the kits. The next 2 cards I'm going to show you use the layering flower stamp from this set. So this one is just the same stamp repeated 3 times. I did use my Misty stamp positioning tool in order to get them all lined up so nicely. But there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different stamps that layer together to create this flower. And then there were similar stamps but smaller to create a smaller flower. I did not end up using those. For the background here, I just used some leftover paper strips from the pattern papers, and this sentiment, as well as this one, did come from one of the pattern papers. I just cut it into strips. And these are on bright card bases. So my next card is not keeping it quite as simple. I used a lot of different elements for this next card. These postage stamps are from one of the pattern sheets of paper. These, of course, are also from the pattern paper. This one was from a sheet that had a lot of different little sayings on it, and I cut it apart and used some sentiments. But I did make the inside a pop-up card. So we've got 3 different strips here. These are parallel folds, so they open and close really nicely. And then more of those postage stamps. So I just cut them all out and picked the ones that I liked. So this card has a nice little surprise inside. It looks pretty simple on the outside, but you open it up and then you've got these interactive elements. And then I would write the message on the back. I think I'll probably add a white rectangle here just to make it easier to write on, but I think this would look cute displayed on a desk. For my next card, I took pieces of my patterned paper and I used a rainbow die to cut them out so that I could have some different colors. I'll show you the die here. And I didn't end up using all 6 of the arches. I only used 5 of them. And then I used some leftover paper scraps here to finish this off, and one of the hey hi hello there sentiments, which again was from the same 6x6 sheet of paper that I used for these couple of cards. And then for my last 2 cards, I used a similar technique on these that I want to talk about here. Again, keeping it pretty simple for these. I do have a portrait and a landscape here. These are A2, they're 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. But basically, what I did is I took 2 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch pieces, and these are not pieces that were included in the kit, but I just want to show you what I did here. I took 2 that I liked and I lined them up, and then I cut them with my paper trimmer. So I'm actually going to show you this. So I lined them up, and I cut them at an angle in my paper trimmer. Now, if I'm cutting these 2 together, it doesn't really matter what my angle is. I don't have to measure or anything, because now these sheets are cut at the same angle, and I can mix and match them. So these 2 pieces would come together to create a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and so would these ones. Now, even better when you're using double-sided paper, like I was for these cards, you could actually take either of these and flip them over, and then you could have a totally different looking pattern. So that's how I created these. I put my panels together, I cut them at the same time, and then I did flip one of them over one pair over so that I would get different designs, but it's actually just two 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch panels. Then I did choose to separate them so that I could put my sentiment strips in, again, from the same 6x6 sheet with this. I really got a lot of mileage out of that, and I wanted them to look a little bit different from each other, but they're definitely the same kind of idea. I used a Lawn Fawn stitched rectangle to get the stitching around here, and then I did use the Hello Lovely Friend stamps from the Stamp Market stamp set, and I heat embossed those. I used my yellow enamel dots on this one to finish that card off. Just one more quick look at the projects that I created with this month's sampler. I did use almost every single scrap that I created. The main thing that I didn't use is when I made my rainbow, I had a bunch of extra arches from that, and I did not use all of those, and I may save some to create more rainbows, but I may just throw them away. I haven't decided yet. I like these tiny little cards. I like these simple panels that were pretty quick and easy to create. I like these ones with the diagonals a lot. I really wanted to create a pop-up card. Actually, one of the reasons I got into card making is because I love designing pop-ups, so I really want to make sure I'm doing more of that in the future. It just takes a little bit more time to create things like that, of course. So lots of different projects using the sampler. The sampler is about $13 a month, and my subscription for the year just ended, so I do need to make sure that I renew. I want to keep getting this every month. I think that it's a great bargain, especially if you're going to make sure that you're putting it to good use. I really liked the layering stamp in this month's sampler. It's so cute. We can customize this with different colors. Then of course there's the smaller flower in there, which will be fun to stamp with too. I feel like I'm going to get a lot of use out of that. Things have been pretty busy around here. So technically it's summer vacation. I'm a high school teacher, but I am working part-time, and I'm also in school getting my master's degree, and I'm also planning a wedding. So trying to make time for my hobby, for paper crafting, it's been a little tough lately, but I want to keep at it. If I don't make the time for it, if I don't schedule it in, then it won't happen at all. So I do plan to keep creating and sharing my projects with you. Hopefully that'll inspire you to create some beautiful things of your own, and also to carve out some time in your busy schedule to do some crafting. Until next time, go make something beautiful.